Yo, what's up with it, y'all? It's JD and I'm back with another quick video. In today's video, we're going to talk about my specific training style, my training system, which is a multifaceted training style. Now, before we get into the video, if you guys are interested in fitness, health, travel, and overall growth content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can get updated every time I drop new content. Now let's get into the video. So I'm a firm believer of the concept that we are our own science experiments. Now this goes for life as well as when it comes to health and fitness. Everybody has a different philosophy regarding health and fitness because we all have unique genetics, diets, lifestyles, and most importantly, we all have unique goals. Today I'll be sharing with you guys my training philosophy and I'll give you a little insight on why I train the way that I do. First and foremost, I think a background on what sparked my love for movement is necessary to understand the principles of my training system. I grew up playing sports like many other young boys, but the more I took it seriously, the more intense my training got. Eventually, I started working with a strength and conditioning coach by the name of Anthony Eggleton, Coach Ant. I think the way that I met Coach Ant was that he saw me playing in the AAU basketball game and noticed I had some talent, but I could optimize my athleticism more with weight training and explosive plyometrics training. Now, Coach Ant's training system is a combination of weights, calisthenics, plyometrics, meditation, mobility, spirituality, and his knowledge of the martial arts. I can remember back training with Coach Ant, we used to do things like meditate before bench pressing. He's actually the person who introduced me to doing pull-ups. He would teach us about different Eastern philosophies, even recommend Eastern herbs or medicines if you had like pain and injuries. Now, Coach Ant trained most of the great athletes in the Bay Area of my generation, and even the generations after me. He's still doing this thing right now out in Oakland. One of the athletes that you guys have probably heard of that he's trained is Damian Lillard. And I think he trained Damian Lillard all the way through college. So let's fast forward 20 years. I incorporated a lot of the things that I learned from Coach Ant into my own training system. Obviously, I'm growing and learning new information along the way, but I would say that there's four main components to my training style: calisthenics, plyometrics, weights, and mobility. Now, before we go into the video any further, I want to extend an invitation to you guys to work with me one-on-one. First and foremost, you can book a free consultation with me on my website. That's Travelsthenix.com. We can chop it up, see if working one-on-one is something that you're going to want to do. Also, I have some ready-to-go programs available on my website as well. Now back to the video. So first, let's talk about calisthenics. Calisthenics is the base of my training system. Before you can add weight to any training, we must gain a base level control of our own body. Relative strength, which is body weight strength, can solely be trained for years. There really is no plateau when it comes down to creative ways to make body weight movements more difficult. From muscle ups to handstand push-ups to pistol squats to back levers to planches, there's always another level that we can reach when it comes down to calisthenics. Now, plyometrics is another key component to my training style. Now, what is plyometrics? Plyometrics is body weight or weighted explosive movements that build fast twitch muscles and increase athleticism. My background is in athletics, so simply getting strong is just not good enough for me. Running faster, moving quicker laterally, and jumping higher has to be part of the equation. Now, how do we do this? We can do movements like using box jumps, lateral jumps, sprinting, and emulating sports movements. The key is to make these movements more difficult while practicing them, and it'll be easier when you do them unweighted or under normal circumstances. One example of this would be running hill sprints versus doing regular sprints. You're going to run hill sprints to increase your speed because you're making the movement more difficult, but then once you run regular sprints, the idea is it's going to be easier for you and you can kind of test out to see how fast you really are. Now, to fast track strength and explosiveness, we can add weight to all of these movements with weighted calisthenics, plyometrics, or traditional weightlifting techniques. We have to use the most effective tools to get the job done. And to neglect weights is to not optimize your training, in my opinion. When I started my calisthenics journey, I was actually super prideful about not using weights, but obviously pride can be foolish. But in the world of calisthenics and in the world of training in general, it's foolish as well. Another way we should try not to be prideful is with innovation and experimentation. I often adopt pieces of other people's training systems, like knees over toes guy, for instance. adding movements like the ATG split squat and the use of the slant board. Now with that slant board, sometimes I do regular squats, sometimes I do weighted squats, sometimes I do pistol squats, and sometimes I even add weight to those pistol squats as well. Now lastly, I want to touch on mobility. Now mobility is probably the most underrated aspect of health and fitness because the health aspect requires us to be mobile. Now mobility training not only increases our longevity, but it can also assist us with our athleticism. Many people marvel at how high an athlete can jump or how fast they can run. But when it comes to athletes like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, maybe Barry Sanders, we don't really realize how mobile these athletes are. This allows them to perform at the highest levels with that silky smooth movement pattern, putting their bodies in positions that most people couldn't dream of being in. Fluid hips, mobile shoulders, strong joints are all things that many of these athletes have in common. When it comes down to our training or athletic journey, we all have different goals, which is why we need to incorporate different training styles unique to what we want to accomplish. My personal goal right now is to develop myself athletically over the next 3 years and become the best overall 40-year-old athlete. I know that's a lofty goal, but in my eyes, it's attainable if I work hard, stay consistent, and continue to develop a multifaceted training style. What are your training goals? Which form of training do you prefer? Now, I appreciate you guys tuning into the video today. And if you guys need help on your journey developing your own training system, book a free consultation with me today at Travelsthenix.com. You can work with me one-on-one and I can help you start your journey of body mastery. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe if you enjoyed the content. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave me a like. I hope everybody's having a great day out there. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.